In the last lesson, we talked about the flexibility of investing and how the unique life stage that you're in and the goals that you have can help determine what your investing plan will look like. Let's dive deeper into this concept and look at various scenarios to see how this might work. Generally speaking, there are 3 phases that a typical investor might experience in their life: accumulation, consolidation, and spending. Accumulation is the earliest phase. If you fall into this category, then you may have recently started investing. If you are accumulating wealth, you would have likely paid off any high-interest debt, like credit cards. This is because credit cards typically have high interest rates, such as 18 to 21%. If you're putting off paying this type of debt with the hopes of making greater returns with investing, bear in mind that greater returns might mean higher risk. When are you starting to accumulate wealth to build your investments, like securities, cash, and other valuable assets, like real estate? Perhaps you are in university or college, or just graduating and starting your career. You might be married with young children. Because you are just starting out, you likely have a good number of expenses on your plate, like student loans, car payments, and a mortgage. Let's look at an example. Nadia is a young professional and a new investor in the accumulation phase. She recently decided that she wants to start investing to build a retirement fund. She has a major advantage at this stage in her investor life: time. Nadia has many years before retirement, which means she can strategically use those years to her advantage in an effort to build her wealth. Because she has decades ahead of her, she feels she is comfortable taking on higher risk at this stage in her life for the possibility of better returns. If her investments do not work out for her, then she knows she has time to rebuild and to make up any losses. What if Nadia has a large investment goal for a short-term need, like a house? In this case, she can adjust the level of risk she's willing to take according to her shorter time horizon. Following the accumulation phase is the consolidation phase. If you fall into this category, then this means that by now you have built strong or established investments. You may have been in the workforce for some time, and you are likely in a more comfortable place financially than when you were starting your career. It's also possible that your disposable income is higher, leaving you with extra capital to save and invest. An example of someone in the consolidation investing phase is Maria, an experienced professional who is earning more money than she is spending. In fact, her income is higher than it has ever been, and she is no longer making regular monthly mortgage installments because she recently finished paying off her family home. Maria is also focusing her investments on retirement, but her time horizon is shorter than Nadia's. This means that she might be taking a more balanced approach with her investments so that she can minimize her financial exposure to risk. While time is not to her advantage as it is with Nadia, Maria's advantage is her ability to contribute more money to her investments. This helps to strengthen her retirement fund at a faster rate. Finally, we have the spending phase. If you're in this investing phase, then this means you aren't earning an income through employment anymore. You might have retired. Your investment income is primarily made up of the wealth that you accumulated over time, which could include income from pension plans. Your investments account for part or all of your income, so you might not be willing to take on much risk in order to preserve capital. Isaiah is an example of someone who is in this investor stage. At 68 years of age, he hasn't been employed for the past 3 years. His kids no longer rely on him for financial support, reducing his overall monthly expenses. The money he now uses for purchases comes from his pension and investments. Because he primarily relies on his investments as income, his risk tolerance is far lower than that of Nadia and Maria. Isaiah doesn't want his investments to experience volatile up and down swings, so he adjusted his financial plan to take a more conservative approach. He prefers to hold assets that generate stable income so he can regularly receive a stream of cash flow to pay for his expenses. These are 3 primary phases that a typical investor may encounter in their life. Thanks for tuning in. Next, we'll learn what you need to know about budgeting to invest.